taking in the sun rays. I just felt like the richest person in the world. And a younger me would have said, yeah, I definitely need multiple millions and this type of house and things like that. And me today, I know. It's time in nature. It's quality time with deep friendships. It's being able to have flexibility in work schedule. I love being able to have the freedom to travel whenever I want, not reporting to a boss. I love being able to go to the grocery store and spend my time leisurely picking out food that's nourishing and organic and good for me. I love creativity, having time to just sing and dance and make art and do things that inspire me from the inside out. This is a creative expression in many ways, but not having to pressure it for money has been amazing. What is it for you? What does a wealthy, abundant life really look like and feel like? Hey you, I'm Anissa. Welcome to Create to Liberate. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about abundance. It is currently entering springtime, and with spring, I feel like there's an opportunity for welcoming in more of what we desire. Manifestation emphasizes abundance as far as wealth or material things, and abundance has a wide spectrum. Abundance is a state of being. There's so many things that make a life abundant. Today's episode is inspired by the fact that we need to ultimately focus on abundance, what we really do have, all the things that we are deeply grateful for, to rev up in the areas where we want to see improvements. So whether that's financially, you want to see improvements, socially, you want to see improvements in your life, romantically, you want to see improvements in your life, by cultivating gratitude and more of the energy of what you do have, appreciation for what you do have, the more that you're able to use and channel that energy and life force energy power into receiving the things that you would like to attract more into your life. So if that sounds good to you, then stick around. As always, I share wisdom from my personal lived experience, as I believe we're all each other's mirrors. We provide a mirror to each other to be able to see ourselves more clearly, and hopefully this empowers you. If it does, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you're listening on audio, 5-star review. Without further ado, let's get into it. First, I'll go into more deeply how this topic became relevant to me. Then we'll get into some rituals to bring in more abundance in your life, and how that life of abundance will really empower you and others moving forward. So a lot of manifestation world and a lot of abundance talk is really highlighting the importance of desire for material things or for money and objects, things that seem of deep importance. And sometimes there's deep importance to them, yes, for sure. And you could find so many books and things around that side of the world. And today's video is also really going into the multiple levels of abundance that you do have and how they support you in having more actual wealth and abundance financially. So a lot of the emphasis is on money because we in the material world have created that as a source of power and energy exchange. When somebody does something for somebody else, then it's compensated. There's a lot of transactional exchanges, but oftentimes we don't take into account the importance of the abundance of health, the abundance of relationships that we have. The quality of our relationships really matters. How we give back to others, how generous we are, the abundance of time, being able to slow down, having free time for your mind to wander, to come up with innovative thought, to dream, to daydream. There's so many ways that we deprioritize the other areas of abundance that actually bring us so much energy and power once we tap into them. And yes, you can use that to cultivate more financial wealth in your life. But what a lot of people do is focus on the lack, focus on what they don't have, focus on scarcity, and then feel depleted and energetically defeated and victimized that they won't be able to create the life financially that they desire. But this one bleeds into that one. I know more people really want the holistic, abundant life. Because we are raised in a society that deeply emphasizes the importance of the material wealth, then so many folks go for that and don't know that maybe it's taking them away from feeling more spiritual fulfillment, social fulfillment, freedom of time, all of these things that are also deeply valuable. I'll get into a story about how this was relevant for me. I have so many good things going on in LA. I definitely want to put emphasis on that. I love slowing down, having free time for my mind to wander, hiking in nature every single day, spending so much time in the sunshine, nurturing old friendships, calling people on the phone, being able to really just have a level of feeling of well-being spiritually, emotionally, feeling regulated. But there's an area of my life that definitely needs more love. And the more that I was putting a lot of attention on that area of my life, the more depleted I was feeling despite having all these wonderful things going on. The more I was like, more of this, more of this. So when I said, you know what, I'm going to make effort towards this area of my life, but I'm not going to make it the highest priority or give it additional attention, because what I do here is leak out my life force energy. If I'm over indexing, and I'll be transparent with you all in dating, if I'm over indexing on focusing on dating, I'm not going to feel very good, because it's the area in which I have an opportunity for growth and for more abundance there. But if I do focus on all of the other areas that are going super well, and then I channel that energy to dating, making some effort towards it every single day, it won't feel so painful. It won't feel dramatic. It won't feel difficult. It'll feel like something that's being worked on, but it doesn't need to be my sole priority and focus. I can bring my energy back to the things that are actually giving life and nurture and energy back to me. And so in the operating in that way, what I was doing historically was like, this area is not going well. Let me focus extra time and attention there. And then I didn't feel very good. And then, I said, you know what? I'll give it 10 minutes a day. I'll put 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes a day towards energy here, and that's it. Then I'm going to do the things that really energize me, and what I feel now is amazing. And what I do have confidence in is the birthing of growth in this area of life. And I've experienced this before. I am a person who recognizes the way that life force energy to us needs to be channeled appropriately for us to see success and returns. So I used to experience this very deeply when I was even under the age of 18. I was doing so well in life when my social life was going well, when I was seeing friends regularly, when I was feeling really healthy, then my grades were going really well, because I wasn't having to be heads down based on how I like to operate. I like to operate where my life is holistically being attended to, but not all of the attention is going to one specific area. Because if I narrowly focus on just one thing, as all the other areas of my life start to come out of focus, I won't feel good. I won't feel healthy. I won't feel connected. And so many folks who operate in a very linear way regret it too. They're at their deathbed or even before then. They're saying, wow, I completely ghosted people in my life. I made my sole focus work, or sole focus chasing relationship, or my sole focus something that narrowed their attention away from all the areas of abundance that are so important within their life. So as we come into the spring season, if you're tuning in whatever season it is, there's an opportunity for renewal, for new beginnings, to begin again and start bridging a life that makes us feel high energy, feel our self-worth, feel the love that's flowing to us more regularly, and use that to generate more of what we want in the other areas that are opportunities for improvement. When it comes to practices to get clearer on where we need to create more abundance, writing it down helps so much. Creating that clarity, actually materializing things, is the first step in successful manifestation. It's really hard to keep a mental note of all the things that we would desire to improve in our life. And so if we just write them down, it can feel like a release. If we just write them down, then we can also put some action items against those things and objectives to receive the things that we would want. So one of your goals might be a financial goal. One of your goals might be a spiritual goal. It might be a relational goal. It might be something of that nature. But if you don't write it down, then it's harder to know what the daily practices are that you're going to do behind them to support that goal. So first step in the ritual is always writing it down and getting clear to yourself. Where are your growth opportunities? What is going well? What do you want to welcome more of in this season of life? What are the things that you're releasing? And then additionally, doing something that makes you feel renewed. So for me, I'll often mention water rituals such as swimming in the ocean or something of that level to which I feel renewal. But whatever feels good for you. Some folks enjoy writing things down and then burning them in the fire. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like whatever practices you felt in your life have allowed you to feel re-inspired, a level of renewal, reinvigoration. For some people, it's focusing completely on the material side of things, like they get a new haircut. Speaking of which, This is the first time I've actually changed my hair in a really long time to a different color, so that's kind of fun. But whatever makes you feel like this is a new version of self, so that you can step into that and operate with the mentality that this version of self takes action on these new goals and objectives towards your abundance, towards your greater abundance. Another helpful practice is also visualizing who you are in this new version of self. So you'll hear that Michael Phelps, before any one of his races, swims, he would visualize himself winning. And so what that allowed him to do was to actually manifest it a little bit more easily. If you can't really envision yourself having the things that you want, it's pretty hard to get there. So just get into the creative practice of allowing yourself time to daydream, allowing yourself to visualize what does it really feel like to have the abundance that you want? What does it look like? Get specific on the details, envision yourself in those scenarios. Envision yourself in a few scenarios where you have that experience. And what is the feeling that's arising for you? So whatever that feeling is arising for you, you can start to cultivate that today too. That doesn't have to wait. The closer you get to the feeling state of the things that you feel or think you will feel on the other side of them, the more that you'll feel them more immediately and the more successful you'll be. It's also so helpful to write down daily gratitude. Gratitude for the abundance that you currently and presently have in your life. I've been happy to use my 5-minute journal pretty regularly. I got it in January or December, but I started using it January 1st. And every single day, it's like 3 things that you're grateful for. And it really helps set me up for moving through the world with a level of awareness as to what I have to think. Our mind can often spiral into negativity, into neural pathways that are not helpful for us. So how do we rewire our mind? By focusing on the good again and again, so that we know that there's positive momentum towards the things where we know there's an opportunity for improvement. If we focus on lack, we're not going to necessarily have the life force energy to push them forward. Pulling back and focusing on the lifestyle of abundance is so important. I think so many of us could really benefit from deconditioning from things that have been shared to us as to what would make us happy, and think back to when you are happiest. Think back to moments where you were your most authentic, expressed, joyful, feeling the most connection you've ever felt, feeling the most open-hearted aliveness you've ever felt. I had a particularly amazing day. I took a workout class and then I went hiking, and just being outside in the middle of the day, taking in the sun rays, I just felt like the richest person in the world. And a younger me would have said, yeah, I definitely need multiple millions and this type of house and things like that. And me today, I know. It's time in nature. It's quality time with deep friendships. It's being able to have flexibility in work schedule. I love being able to have the freedom to travel whenever I want, not reporting to a boss. I love being able to go to the grocery store and spend my time leisurely picking out food that's nourishing and organic and good for me. I love creativity, having time to just sing and dance and make art and do things that inspire me from the inside out. And I don't have to do it for my sole job. This is a creative expression in many ways, but not having to pressure it for money has been amazing. What is it for you? What does a wealthy, abundant life really look like and feel like? There's so many more people that know it that are in survival mode, even when they have the level of wealth that they need. Maybe you don't want the extreme level of wealth because you also don't want to be extremely tired. Maybe extreme wealth isn't what you actually desire, because that comes with a lifestyle that isn't attractive to you. Maybe it would disconnect you from friendships that you have pre-existing. So getting really honest with ourselves around what we truly want. And I highly encourage everybody to be very abundant and feel abundant, but think about the true level of lifestyle that you want. Because for me personally, being in LA, I see how wealth doesn't really support a lot of people in having more nurturing, more loving, more happy lifestyle. So really personally carving out for ourselves is so deeply important. And then, yes, getting to the manifestation and abundance and getting to the place where we feel we're able to live the life that we desire. For me personally, the abundance also means generosity. It means getting to a place where I can give back more freely. I can share my time and energy more freely. I can think more freely. It's not just for the self. So that's another stage to think about, beyond just you individually. What is this abundance for? What purpose does it serve? What is your purpose? Maybe this level of abundance is going to unlock something for your family. Maybe this level of abundance is going to unlock some dreams that are within you and give them spaciousness. Maybe this level of abundance is going to give you the ability to experience things that you can then integrate into creative work, to empower more people, to open more hearts and minds. Maybe this level of abundance is gonna make so many more people's life easier beyond just your own. If you can think in that way, then you're starting to put some stronger intention and fuel behind your desires for abundance. So there are desires that are really true, and then there's desires that are a bit more false, and we don't realize it until they start to deteriorate. And sometimes we don't have so much power behind those things that we thought were super important because they didn't have enough truth in them. So when you get to the really truthy desires of abundance, then you can really start powering behind them from a place of deep purpose, from a soul level place. After having one of the greatest days today, just being in the sun, relishing in it, I was like, oh, I want to make a YouTube video. I want to create to liberate. I want to share something that's going to uplift other people, open their hearts and minds, remind them of the abundance that exists in the world. The one that we're constantly being advertised is usually in the package of material wealth, yes. But I really would love for you share in the comments if something resonated with you as far as unlocking more clarity on your true desires for abundance. If you listen to me, I'm likely assuming that you desire more flexibility with your lifestyle, more freedom. I hope that you can visualize what that really looks like. I hope that you can really feel into that. I hope that you know that that's connected to a deeper purpose for you in this lifetime, because we're all liberators. We're all here to create things, to liberate others, to be creators, unique emanations of source. And I'm sending you so much love in cultivating a more abundant life, in doing some of those practices that I mentioned, in bringing the life that you truly desire forward. You deserve it. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, 5-star review on audio. Sending you so much love.